everybody. My name is Chris Wood. I live near Deserano, Ontario, and I am a 5-year revenge retaliation full physical identity theft victim with 100% proof from Lennox and Addington, Ontario Provincial Police, Lennox and Addington County General Hospital, Justice of the Peace, and 3 mental health workers and their accomplices. They are organized human trafficking, sex slavery trafficking, injuring, torturing, framing, false arrest, and medical blacklisting, tortures, full deforming, mutilations, stalking, and homicides. They are all sex offenders, sex slave traffickers, drug traffickers, and paid junkies, accomplices with and for the O.p.p, Ontario Provincial Police, and Napanee. Ex-O.p.p chief, year 2019, had me shot on the corner of Bridge and Center Street before he left Napanee. Staff Sergeants, years 2019-2021, kidnapping and sodomy sex assault. Shannon Cork, Robert Lucas, Dave Weiss, Stacy, a mental health worker, was Napanee Daily Tea Company, now Kingston AMHS, and Shelley Huffner had me kidnapped May 27, 2021, 24 hours after me asking for help with what is taking place with me. I have been falsely charged to the hospital to prevent anything illegal on them for the crimes that they're guilty of and committing. Lies, the time buying, cover-ups, arrest refusals, false arrest, extortion, blaming me, a lot of lies of being suicidal, self-harm are not true in any way, shape, or form. I am the end of my bloodline. But anyway, because you are all sex slave trafficking, drug trafficking, bloodline ending pieces of shit who are above the law, using your badges, positions, credentials, the lies, the time buying, and your accomplices. There is the Dr. Margie V, aka Tatiana V, name and file falsifier, medical blacklister, and girlfriend to Stacy from Mental Health, AMHS. Dr. Hadley, Dr. Barton, Dr. Walton, Dr. McGregor are all criminally negligent and involved with criminal negligence and intent to commit and cover up discrimination, treatment refusals, name calling. I have been through complete and total skull deforming, brain injury, lung damage. I have cords that come up from my lung to my throat and around to the back of my fucking neck. I have total and complete hypoxia on a daily basis. There's nothing I can do about it. I cannot get medical help. My medical rights, legal rights, and human rights have been taken. So, after 5 years, I completely and totally fucking deformed me, completely and totally destroyed my brain and my skull, my lungs, my kidneys, keeping me from health. Time is bought, damage is done. I just want to know one question. How much was my life sold for? O.p.p. Because then you're speaking of your crimes. How much was my mother's life sold for? How much were my dog's lives sold for? Or was that just pleasure? How O.p.p get revenge is they totally mutilate their victims, they injure, they torture, they completely, totally fucking lie. They use their badges, their positions, their credentials, along with criminal doctors. I have absolutely no feeling in the right side of my head. I get hypoxia on a daily basis. I have what feels like air being pumped into my fucking head from that tube that comes up from my chest. It comes up through my throat. I've shown it. It sticks right out and it goes to the back of my head and up through my head. And I've not had any surgeries. So what the fuck? This is what happens when you try to save lives in Anthony. You get injured, tortured. There's nothing you can do about it. So poor, elderly, disabled, I would seriously beware. And homeless, they are involved in trafficking you in monetary gain for exploitation. Criminal accomplices to O.p.p, ones that need to be arrested with, or ones that need to be arrested is one, Bill Aldridge. All the police know him. Everybody knows him. He's approximately 70 years old. All glasses. He thinks that he's me. He believes that he is Harry Potter. Blair Frederick Hardy. Bill or Jason Gimpy, Two-Step Milstein. Tyler Lake. Bert Hustler. Robert Barry. His boyfriend Robert. Layla Blow. Dale Hartwig. And Tony Anthony Hearns are all involved with this crime to me. When people go missing, it is through fucking the police, the doctors who are criminally involved, and their drug-fed, money-paid pieces of shit that they are paying to commit identity thefts, framings, so they can traffic and kill their victims. Right now, I have the back of my head on the right side. It's completely and totally burning. My medical rights, my human rights, my legal rights have been taken. And I now look like a piece of shit named Jason Van who is approximately 45 years old, and he is a crack-fed crackhead. He is guilty of, he is possibly guilty of another homicide in 2021. He's guilty of selling waste fentanyl for homicides. He's guilty of my identity theft with the intent to commit identity and insurance fraud and attempted murder. There is Tyler T. Bagley. He is an animal torturer. He's an animal killer. He is well known for drowning dogs in Napanee. He is also guilty of torturing and killing my dog in 2023, along with one Ray LeBlanc. These are all drug traffickers and money paid pieces of shit who cannot be touched. Dale Hartwick aiding O.p.p. in his for drop charges for crimes, plus the free drugs, the speed. Tony Anthony Hearns, guilty of being involved with my identity theft, guilty of torture crimes on me, and guilty of attempted murder with intent to commit. There is Bert the Hitman Hustler, who is allegedly an ex-NHL hockey player for the Philadelphia Flyers and the Hartford Whalers. He is a pillhead, he is a sex slave trafficker, and he is guilty of being involved with my identity theft. He's guilty of attempted murder. Robert Berry, he is a sex slave trafficker. He is a drug trafficker. He is a trucker, and he is a possible serial killer. So I can prove the crimes against me, and as I'm doing this, I'm losing more and more of my memories because I am seriously being fucking numbed. Complete total numbness in my head. My skull, my face has been shortened, widened, flattened, elongated, and I have been through serious physical identity changes with 100% proof. This is why I was medically blacklisted. This is why I was falsely charged, to prevent me help, to prevent me proof, because of who is being done by the cops, criminal doctors, and their fucking accomplices. This all started to me after I was shot by L&A O.p.p chief in 2019 before he left Napanee, the pedophile sex slave trafficker. And then there's one accomplice, is the one that was stalking my mother, that thinks he's me, thinks that he's my dad, was calling my mother mom, also is a pedophile sex slave trafficker. He was seen in May 2021 in his driveway giving oral sex to a teenager. So this is the kind of fucking filth that's around there. You speak up, you try to save lives, guaranteed you will be fucking lobotomized, you will be injured, you will be tortured, your parents will be killed, you will be medically blacklisted, and there will be nothing you can do to save your identity, possibly your bloodline or your life. I made the mistake of trying to speak up to try to save lives, and they do not like that. As it goes right now, O.p.p. Spencer Mills14716 is guilty of attempted murder with intent to commit. Robert King, guilty of attempted murder with intent to commit. Staff Sergeant, years 2019-2021, guilty of kidnapping, sodomy, sex assault, attempted murder with intent to commit. These are all human traffickers, sex slave traffickers as well, drug traffickers. They are drug fed, money paid pieces of shit who cannot be touched without $22,000. Hands surrounded on guns by the police to prevent anything legal on anyone. I am having problems right now doing this. I'm having problems seeing out of my damn right eye. It feels like it's starting to pop out of my head. So time has been bought, damage is done, and I am a complete total identity theft victim. Compliments of the police, and this is how they frame their victims. This is how they traffic their victims. And this is how they are murdering their victims. When ones disappear, it is possibly through identity theft that's been committed on them while they're being slave trafficked or possibly killed, and it is being covered up through the police, doctors, and all of their other accomplices that they can use. Just give them a little bit of crack, meth, fentanyl, and immunity, and they're good to go. Jason Gimpy to Stephen Allstein. As it stands right now, you are guilty of murder in the first degree with intent to commit, and one way or another, I can't prove it, but one way or another, I want him arrested and I want him charged along with the rest. I cannot get arresting on cops. They are above the law. I cannot get arresting on doctors. They are above the law. It has been proven. It is proven they are above all laws and they have no accountability for nothing and will do everything possible to get away with what they've done. And I can and have proven it. Doing everything to try to discredit me, doing everything to try to prevent and stop me with my legal rights, my medical rights, arresting, charging, will fucking me over. I am paying for their crimes against me. Simple as that. And they are all a bunch of sex offenders, homosexuals, and I have nothing against gay people, but they are all sex offender registered, pedophiles, and homosexuals. Rapes is what one Blair Hardy is guilty of. Whether this is seen or not, I am Chris Wood. I am 52 years old and I am a 5-year revenge retaliation full physical identity theft victim. Compliments of the police, and it can be proven, along with the doctors and their accomplices. You speak O.p.p. crimes. Expect to be tortured, injured, medically blacklisted, and murdered, and it will be covered up. And I can prove. And these are not just accusations. So I want to make that very clear. These are not just accusations because it's against the police or doctors. This is me saying 100% they are guilty of serious crimes. It has nothing to do with hate, has nothing to do with anything else. They are guilty of serious crimes. And that is why I named them. So beware, because nothing can be done. And this is Napanee, Ontario, Canada.